All right, let's get to the B2 homework. So we're writing the equation given a graph, and we need to write the three forms: vertex, intercept, and standard. So let's just look at number one. The first thing you want to do is identify the vertex for the vertex form. Right here, the vertex is going to be -4, -4. So remember that the x, where this is an x and a y, the x component is the h value, and the y component is the k value for here and here. Now notice, right, this is x minus. This minus and this negative are different, right? We say that the inside lies. So when this says -4, which right now h is -4, so this is going to be y equals a x minus -4 squared minus 4. Right. The k tells the truth. The outside part tells the truth. So this is really y equals a x plus 4 squared minus 4. So notice right now, this is plus 4 and this is minus 4. So the x part, the h, it's always opposite, right? Like the x is always opposite inside the parentheses because inside lies. That's what we always say. Inside lies. So here is the vertex form. The only thing we have to solve for now is a. So the way we solve for a is that we have to pick some other point on the graph that isn't the vertex. Typically, you want to choose something that's on a nice intersection. Right? Any one of these points that I'm highlighting right now. You could use any one of these points. Now, it's my recommendation that you do yourself a favor and choose an easy point, something with a 0 in it. So typically on the x axis or y axis are the ones you're going to want to pick. So this is -2, 0. And we have -6, 0. So one of these be the ones that I pick. Now choose a smaller one, right? -2 is smaller than -6, or it's easier to work with. So if we choose -2, 0. Now remember, -2 is x, 0 is y. So we're going to plug in x and y so we can figure out what a is. So y is 0. A. X was -2 plus 4 squared minus 4. Okay, -2 plus 4 is +2. +2 squared. Right, because it's still in the parentheses. You square it because it's in the parentheses. It's going to be 4. So when you write it all together, so this is going to be 0 is equal to a times 4. So notice, if you write a first times 4, and then don't forget about minus 4, it's so easy to think and say that 4 minus 4, right? But that's not true. The 4 is being multiplied. We have an order of operations. So it's best, and plus you would never see the coefficient in the back of the variable. It typically goes in front. So solving for a, we add 4 to both sides. This is 4 for a. Solving for a is equal to 1. So the good news is that this a value can get recycled and you can use it in the next two forms, right? Because notice, here's an a and here's an a. It's the same a. That's the good news. Even better news is that a is 1. So when we write our answer, we have to plug a back in to the second equation, or the second line right here. So this is final answer. Y is equal to A, which is 1, so I don't write anything. X plus 4 squared minus 4. So that's the vertex form. All right, x-intercept form, the next form, we have to identify the x-intercept. So where does the graph cross the x-axis? And it crosses at -6 and -2. -6 and -2. So x equals -6, and then x equals -2. These are the x-intercepts. So we want to put these in parentheses, but we don't want the equal sign, right? So we want to add 6 to both sides, add 2 to both sides. So we get x plus 6, x plus 2. So really, what you need to know is that when you have x minus 6 and x plus 2, to get to the factors, right? Because right now, these are the roots or x-intercepts or solutions, whatever word you want to use, right? It's the roots or the x-intercepts. The inside lies, so you have to do the opposite, right? This is opposite, this is opposite. So you do the opposite. Okay, moving forward. So we want to make it look like the form that we're trying to get. So y is equal to a times all this. Well, this is nice because right now we know that a is 1. So when a is 1, truly, you don't have to put anything. And this would be the answer, right? This would be the y-intercept form, is what you're looking at here. Y is equal to x plus 6, x plus 2. Okay. For the standard form, we have to use the x-intercept form or the vertex form, one of those two box answers, and we're going to expand it out by using FOIL. I would use the x-intercept form in this case. So this is y is equal to x plus 6, x plus 2. So we're going to FOIL. First, x squared, outer, 2x, inner, 6x, and then last, 6 times 2, which is 12. Combining the like terms, x squared plus 8x plus 12. Y equals, right? Y equals this. And that's how you get standard form. Let's try it again. So here we want to find and identify the vertex. The vertex is 3, 9. 3, 9. So y is equal to a x minus 3 squared. And it's minus 3 because this is a positive 3, right? Inside lies, it's always the opposite. Plus 9. Is that what it was? Yep, plus 9. Outside tells the truth. Okay, now that we have our form, right, we just got to figure out what a is. We're going to plug in a once we figure it out. So we need to pick a point that is not the vertex. So any other point. I think this is the best point, right? 0, 0. 0, 0 is probably the best point if you could use it. So x is 0, y is 0. A 0 minus 3 squared plus 9. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So we have 0 is equal to 9. I'm going to write it in front. Plus 9. So minus 9, minus 9. Negative 9 is equal to 9a. Solving for a, divide both sides by 9, and a is equal to -1. So plugging that back into the original, we're going to get -1. I just wrote it in. I guess we could rewrite it and not be lazy, right? So -1. I'm just going to write the negative because the 1 is implied. -3 squared plus 9. Okay. Intercept form. The x-intercepts, one we already know is 0, 0. The other one is 6, 0. So positive 6. So 0, 0, and 6, 0. So x equals 0 and 6 equals 0. Or x equals 0 and x equals 6. Sorry, x equals 6. So these are our x-intercepts. To put it in the form that we want, so plus 0, right? There's no such thing as plus 0. So, I mean, it's just x, right? X plus 0 is just x. So that's the one time the opposite doesn't matter is when it's 0. And then the second one, x minus 6, right? Because it's opposite. X is positive 6. So the factor, the part that we're using right now, because we want to make this form here, you got to do the opposite of whatever the root is. All right. So y is equal to a times x minus 6. Well, we already know from the above problem that a is equal to -1. So we could just write in a negative. And that would be it. Okay. For standard form, we're going to take the above form, y equals -x, x minus 6. And we're going to distribute. So y is equal to negative x times x, which is x squared, right? Negative times a positive is negative. And then negative times negative is a positive. So positive 6x. And this is the standard form. Okay. Next. Oh, this is an interesting one. Because look where the vertex is. It's on the x-axis. That's nice. So this is -2, 0. So the vertex is -2, 0. This is our h and this is our k. So y is equal to a x plus 2 squared plus 0. Again, plus 0 is kind of irrelevant. We don't need to write that. Anytime we have 0, we definitely don't need to write it. Okay, so now we just got to figure out what a is. We figure out a by picking a point that is not the vertex. Typically, it should have a 0 or a 1. But if not, then that's fine also. So the y-intercept is the next best point. So this is 0, 4. 0, 4. Right, x, y. So let's plug that in for our x and our y. 4, a, x is 0 plus 2 squared. So we get 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 equals 4a. Solving for a, divide both sides by 4 to isolate the a. 4 over 4 is just 1. So a is equal to 1. So the formula in vertex form is going to be y is equal to a, which is 1, x plus 2 squared. Okay, x-intercept form. The x-intercept form, well, there isn't there's only one x-intercept, which we'll talk about this later. So right now, we can actually use the vertex form because the x plus 2 is being squared. That means I need 2 of them. So y is equal to x plus 2 times x plus 2. And a is 1, obviously. So we're done. It's kind of nice when that happens. For standard form, we take, again, the above form and we FOIL it out. We expand it out. So x first, x times x, x squared. Outer, 2x. Inner, 2x. Last, plus 4. Combining the like terms in the middle, we get final answer, standard form, y equals x squared plus 2 plus 2, 4x plus 4. Okay. Second page. We're almost done. So what happens if you can't find the vertex? Right? The vertex isn't on a nice intersection. Right? We don't want to guess. So the next best thing would be to look at the x-intercepts. So the x-intercepts are -3 and +2. So x equals -3, x equals +2. So to find the factors, we're going to y is equal to a, x plus 3, because it's the opposite, x minus 2, again, it's the opposite. We just got to figure out what a is. So I want to use a point that is not on, that is not the vertex, right? Typically a 1 or a 0. So here they have a point already identified. Could we have used, me personally, I probably would have used 0, -12, right? Just because the fact that there's a 0. But let's use the one that they said, 1, -8. 1, -8. So x is 1, y is -8. So -8 is equal to a, x, which is 1, plus 3, 1 minus 2. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 minus 2 is -1. So remember, all this is being multiplied together. Don't add these. So this is going to be -8 is equal to a times 4 times -1, which is -8. 1 times -4 is -4. A. I'm going to write the coefficient in front like normal. Divide both sides by -4. A is equal to +2, right? Negative divided by a negative is a positive. So A is equal to 2. All right, this is an important value because now we can plug that back in to the original or to our intercept form here. So y is equal to A, which is 2, x plus 3, x minus 2. That's our answer. That is the intercept form based on what was given. Now, standard form, let's FOIL that out. So x times x, x squared. X times -2, -2x. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times -2, -6. Now, the 2 in front is the most forgotten about part. Right? That has to multiply to everything in the parentheses after we distribute. So this is going to be -2 plus 3, which is just x. So 2 times x squared plus x minus 6. When we distribute, we get 2x squared plus 2x minus 12. And this is equal to y. This is standard form of the same exact problem. All right, last one. Same idea. Same idea. X-intercepts are known. So positive 4, negative 3. So x is equal to negative 3. X is equal to positive 4. Take the opposite of those. X plus 3, x minus 4. Right, and this is y is equal to a times all that. That's the formula. All right, solving for a, we're going to need a point. They have highlighted 2, 10. Positive 2, positive 10. Me personally, I would have done 0, 12. 0, 12 is nicer, in my opinion, because it's a 0. Okay. So plugging in x and y. So 2 for x and 10 for y. So 10 is equal to a 2 plus 3 times 2 minus 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. And all this is being multiplied. So 10 is equal to 10, or 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 times a. I'm just rewriting it. So solving for a, divide both sides by negative 10. Cancels on the right, cancels on the left, and this becomes negative 1. So a is equal to negative 1. Oops, right at the bottom. A is equal to negative 1. All right, plugging that back into the original, we get y is equal to negative 1. So I'm going to write negative x plus 3, x minus 4. Right, you don't actually have to write the 1 out. It's understood that it's a 1 if you just write a negative. Okay, for standard form, we're going to FOIL that out. So negative x plus 3, x minus 4. FOIL first, x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 12. Don't forget about the negative sign. So combining like terms, we get negative x, right? Negative 4 plus 3. So y is equal to negative times x squared minus x minus 12. Distributing the negative, we get final answer. Y is equal to negative x squared, positive x, positive 12. Okay. Hopefully this helps someone. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.